Hi yogis, my name is Crystal May and welcome to Yin. Today's class is going to be centered around releasing the low back, reestablishing the curve in the lumbar into the low back, and we're going to do that by literally encouraging it into that specific shape with 3 poses. That's it. We're going to take those poses and we're going to continue to offer different variations of the same shape. You can take or leave whatever you want. You can make poses smaller or bigger. It's completely up to you. That is going to be our practice for today. For this practice, you're going to need either a bolster or a pillow and a block. If you just have 2 blocks or you just have a pillow, we're going to make it work, not to worry. Try and get 2 props if you can. 2 pillows, a bolster and a block, 2 blocks, 2 bolsters, doesn't matter, but try and get 2 props to help you through this practice. We're going to start off in Sphinx pose, and you're going to use your bolster or your 2 blocks to help support your chest. So you're going to roll onto the chest and we're going to get you set up. Rolling onto the belly, you're going to take your bolster or your pillow or your 2 blocks. You're going to scoop them underneath your chest for a supported Sphinx pose. You can take the elbows and hook them around the front or however you want to get comfortable into this, but you want to feel like you're just kind of resting on the belly and on the chest, using the bolster for a tiny bit of elevation through the chest. Take a deep breath in from here and release. Now you can stay in this variation of this pose, or you're going to prop your way up onto just your forearms. Now you can just scoop the bolster or the pillow in towards you and just kind of use it for like the tiniest bit of support as you support yourself onto the forearms, or you can just push it to the side if it feels like it's in the way. You're going to find the tiniest bit more compression into your low back, re-establishing that curve in the lumbar. So again, the curve is going forward towards the front line of the body. There should be no pain. Discomfort is pretty common, especially when it comes to yin, but you want to make sure you're not in pain. If you are, you're just going to go to the smaller variation of this pose. You can just lay flat down onto the chest. It still works. Take just one more breath in this shape. If you want to stay here, you can just stay here. If you want to get a little bit deeper, you're going to prop your elbows up onto your prop. You're going to take whatever prop you have and slide it underneath your elbows or underneath your forearms to, again, get a little bit higher up into your Sphinx. Some of you are not going to need to get higher up to get to the right amount of pressure that you want, the right amount of stress, positive stress, that you're going to want for this pose. Again, you can just keep the very foundational variation of this and it'll be just as good. Just be mindful. What works for you? Again, you can just stay in this variation if this one works for you. If you would like, our last variation of this pose is seal. So if you want, again, you can push the props out of the way, or you're going to plant the palms onto the earth, straightening out through the arms. You're going to push the heart up into a seal pose. Again, this one is a big ask of the spine. It's a big ask of the shoulders and even of the front line of the body. Make sure that your body is okay with this level of stress. You don't even have to stay here the whole time. You can stay a couple breaths, build up your tolerance for it, and then come back to it repeatedly. Whatever works for you. Take a nice slow deep breath in and sigh. Just take a nice slow deep breath in and sigh. From wherever you are, you're going to push the props out of the way and you're going to release all the way back down onto the chest. Use the core on your way down. Release the tension out. Take a deep breath in and sigh. For your next pose, we're going to go into a supported fish. You're going to take your pillow or your bolster and turn it, or again, your block, and you're going to turn it horizontal. And then you're going to have your second prop up at the top to support your head. This is going to go underneath, say, the back of your ribs. This one's going to support your head. So if you turn your back to it, I find the easiest way to get into this is take your elbows onto your bolster or pillow, your prop, and you're going to place it on the back of your ribs. You might find that you want to go a little higher, a little lower. Just make sure there's little to no pressure on your low back. Make sure your low back is happy. You're going to find an arch in the low back, but you shouldn't feel something pushing into it. So just be mindful about that. Your back's pretty vocal. It'll probably tell you that what you're doing is not okay. You're going to rest the back of your ribs onto your prop. Take the hands to the back of the head and slowly guide your head down to be supported by your second prop. From here, your arms and legs can make any expression. We're going to change the expression of the legs as we go through. My recommendation is to keep soles of the feet onto the ground for now. Make sure your low back feels okay with what you've got going on. Arms can be in any shape that you feel good about. You can stay in whatever shape you're in if you want to stay here. Otherwise, we're going to change the expression of the legs. You're going to either take the feet, soles of the feet together into a butterfly, let the knees drop open, or you can straighten the legs out. It's completely up to you, whatever feels like it works the best for you. Again, you can stay in this shape exactly how it is, or you're going to take the prop that's underneath your head, slowly pull it out so that your head falls closer down towards the ground or falls onto the ground, and it's going to create a deeper arch into your spine. If you find that doesn't work for you, you're just going to keep the head supported. My recommendation is to take the hands to the back of the head and guide your head back there. So slowly push the prop out of the way, take the hands to the back of the head, and slowly guide your head back down towards the ground. Oh, my hair's like a little pillow. It's like my own little built-in prop. Like if your hair's not messy by the end of yoga, I'm not sure you did it right. Take a nice slow deep breath in and sigh. Now, if you find that this is becoming too much stress on your low back, you're just going to bend into the knees. Take soles of the feet back down towards the ground, and it'll help take some of the tension away. Take just one more breath in this shape, and then you're going to start to draw the feet back down towards the ground if they're not already there. From here, you're going to start to lift your glutes up. So press into the feet, lift the glutes. Take whatever prop is underneath your spine, and you're going to push it down so it lands underneath your glutes. This is a very simple way to help release tension from the lower half of the body, help reverse the blood flow just a little bit. That small inversion can go a really long way for your energy. And we're going to hold here for about a minute. Now you can stay in this shape exactly how it is, or you're going to again drop the legs out into a butterfly. Take the soles of the feet together, drop your knees out towards the side. Take a nice slow deep breath in and sigh. If you're feeling too much compression in your low back, you can either bend the knees again so that the feet are on the ground again, or you might just need to tuck the tailbone a little bit. So even if you lift your hips up, tuck the tailbone under and drop back down, it might help create a little bit more length into the low back. Sometimes it's just too much of a compression. You can stay in this variation as it is if you'd like, or you're going to start to straighten out the legs. So you can start from feet onto the earth if you want, and then start to walk the legs away from you. You may not get them fully straight, and that's okay, or
Maybe you press them straight and just let them relax down onto the earth. You're going to find more pull into the front of the hips with this pose, a little bit more compression into the low back. If it doesn't work for you, you know that you can go to the different variations. Again, from where you are, take a slow inhale and sigh. The low back can be a really stressful place to put tension. And even if it's positive stress or positive tension, it can still feel very anxious. And so allow yourself to make sure that those lines of communication are open and that what you're offering yourself is still considered positive stress. It's designed to be uncomfortable, especially if you do hold a lot of tension in your low back, which I don't know anybody in the world who doesn't. We tend to hold a lot of tension into the spine. Part of that is tight hips, part of that is sitting constantly. Our hips are in constant flexion, which takes its toll out on the low back. Some of it is just the structure of our spine. Maybe we're not using our core enough for stability. There's so many reasons your low back might feel tender. And so putting more stress onto it, even though it's positive stress, can feel very emotionally stressful. And so be sure that you're really communicating with your body. What is your body saying to you? You know the difference between discomfort and pain. I know you do. So just making sure that you're respecting how your body wants to express itself. Are you pushing a limit, or are you just allowing yourself to move through discomfort to go towards comfort? Only you're going to know the answer. Take just one more breath in this shape. You're going to draw the soles of the feet back down towards the ground. And then you're going to start to lift the glutes up whenever you feel ready, whenever you feel like you can. Take your prop, push it down so it lands underneath your knees, maybe underneath your hamstrings. You're going to straighten the legs out, let them relax. This is my favorite way to practice Shavasana if you have tension in your low back. Take a slow, deep breath in and sigh. Allow the body to surrender and release. Allow yourself to just digest everything you offered yourself in this time. Stay in your Shavasana for as long as you feel comfortable. Thank you so much for coming to share your practice and your energy. Take care of that low back. Have a beautiful week.
Namaste.